they were a much bigger team. You guys win this battle on the boards decisively. Was this your best physical game or one of them? I mean, this was a good game physically for you, wasn't it?
Well, I think it was a physical game, obviously, but there were also a lot of free throws on both sides. So
52 fouls.
that's kind of my point a little bit. Is there were a lot of fouls, so it probably was a pretty physical game. And you know, in the SEC, it's physical. It's really physical in February. And rebounding was obviously a huge emphasis, and it has to be against that team. So they find ways to break you down. And honestly, I thought they came out and threw some punches, and I think it took us a while to settle in. And I thought there were some things that we did really, really well. And then there was a lot of areas that we can improve. We just gotten a little bit too much isolation and just let it be a little too physical, and we need to hold our ground a little more.
Raegan, what do you feel like was the difference for you offensively there in the second half?
It's hard because, like, I was asked that same question. I'm like, I don't feel like there was a difference per se. We just kept focusing on getting into the paint. In the first half, maybe it didn't go into me in the paint as much specifically to me, but I felt like we were doing a great job of getting in there and still going at them, which is, you got to do that with a team like this because they're really good. So in the second half, we just shifted a little bit. So let's get inside a little bit to Raegan a little bit more, but really wasn't a change. We just got to keep attacking the paint.
Raegan, Kim was in here talking about how even if they doubled you, you're still tough on the boards, and if they double you, it leaves somebody open who I assume is the person sitting to your left. Talk a little bit about just how that works and how tough, how that helps you, but also helps your team.
Yeah, we're a great team, and we're really hard to guard when all 5 people on the floor are scoring threats. And that's what I felt like we were doing a good job of tonight when they sent 2 to 1 person, whether it was me or someone else. Someone was wide open and hit a shot, made a good pass, things like that. And so that is an example, or that is something that we have tried to focus on more, is team basketball, both offensively and defensively. And obviously lots of things to clean up on the defensive end. But offensively, when we move the ball and get reversals and things like that, it's hard to double any team. And so we just got to keep doing that. And they did a great job of taking advantage of that when I was being doubled. And Sahara had some phenomenal cuts. Peyton had some good shots. I was out there. So we were all moving really, really well.
I think the difference in the second half, now I just want to answer your first question of why I think she was better in the second half, and I think it was because of Sahara Williams. I think she went in and demanded the ball and demanded it to get in there. And so when she was, especially in that high post area, I thought she did a really nice job of being able to attack that. Yeah. And she either scored or she passed or she looked for her, and I think that was really what created a lot more opportunities for Raegan.
100%.
Sahara, can I ask you about your last 2 rebounds?
Yeah.
The one that sort of goes out to the side after a free throw, and then the one defensive rebound on the other end. Just talk me through those 2 rebounds.
Just knowing that I needed to go get that and doing whatever it takes for my team, especially the O board. When I saw that, I was like, okay, I can go get this one. But the defensive board, if you get the board, you kill the possession, and then you have a chance to go score. And so I just thought, honestly, doing whatever this team needs is what I'm willing to do. And if that's go out there and get 10 boards, however that looks, that's what I'm willing to do.
You can get 10 boards or 15.
Or 15,
That won't stop you any longer.
Or keep going, but no. So
Of her 9 rebounds tonight, it felt like 20. But of the 9 that she had, 6 of them were offensive rebounds. And that is, like, she set the tone for that tonight. I felt like just crashing and getting in there, and that makes our team so much better. And when in the game we needed it, you did a great job of that when our team needed it.
I have a question for all of you guys. So I know we all watched, we all saw the fouls. It was a bit of a rough defensive game here. What do you guys think about how you guys can improve going out, against another opponent like Tennessee?
I just say we can't put people on islands. I know Jennie mentioned that, and we'll continue to mention that, and we will be working on that leading up to our next game, but we just can't put each other on islands. We got to play team defense better, and I feel like there are lots of room for improvement tonight when it comes to that.
Well said. I think just staying together, 5 of us versus one of them, that ball don't get in the paint, and we feel a lot better about the score. But I thought we had good moments where we really executed our defensive scheme. So I think, like Raegan said, just we got to keep out-teaming everybody on both ends of the floor.
Sahara, Jennie mentioned it a little bit. Did you come into this game and tell yourself, I'm going to post up and I'm going to make it happen down low, even though they're 4 inches, 5 inches taller than you?
Yeah, but that's kind of our offense. Like, that's just what we do. If you down there and you want to score, you get a layup. Like, you just make it easy, and then if not, you get somebody else open. You screen and get other people open. But we really harped on scoring in the paint. Like, we're going to score in the paint. I think last year we almost had, 60 points in the paint. So opportunities were there. We just got to take advantage of them, and I just took whatever the defense gave, and however that looked, whether O boards or just cuts or post-ups. I think Raegan had, 2 assists to me, so she's a pretty good passer on that one. But just really flowing within our offense and just letting those shots come.
Jennie, I think that's 3 straight top 25 wins for you guys now. Do you
feel like you guys are starting to play your best basketball? I mean, there's 2 regular season games left down the stretch here. What maybe do you think you guys need to work more on, and then do you think you're starting to put it all together?
There's a list of things that we can work on. But humility is not one of them. We're very humble.
Humility builds character.
No, honestly, I think we've taken out.
Sorry.
I know. It's my birthday. I can say what I want.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly believe that this team decided a long time ago not to feel sorry for ourselves and just to focus on getting better. And I think that's what you can see. So it's not like we're crushing people. It's like we're getting this amazing experience. Every single player has made really big plays if we're talking the last 3 games. You know, Zaya Van has had huge plays. Raegan Bears has had huge plays. Peyton Verhulst, Aaliyah Chavez, Sahara Williams. I mean, everybody is making good plays. And every single game, it's not one person's game. There's multiple times in each of those games that someone else's number is called. Kaya Smith today. I mean, she was phenomenal on the defensive end. We had to have her. She did a really nice job of settling in. Some games it's Brooklyn Stewart. Some games it's Keziah Lofton. And so you can see that they're starting to really understand it's not about them proving themselves and being on an island and guarding, or being on an island and having to score, and being on an island to do things. You can see that they really are turning into a better team. And that's what we're seeing. So we're seeing some of these outcomes follow that. But I think it's really because of the culture and the chemistry, because trust me, it's not been easy. It's been extremely challenging, and there's a lot of games that you're like, oh, I wish we could have some moments back. But you don't get that, but that's part of the journey. You're not supposed to get that. And so I think that's what's been so fun to be able to watch this. Fun's strong, but growth is accurate. And it is even on the times that we miss a shot, or even on the times, like, we're not coaching the outcome right now. We're not worried if they make it, or if the other team banks in a shot. Like, we're not worried about that. We're worried about the process. And we're talking about what we need to do and how we need to build that trust. And so I think that's what you're seeing. And it would be really nice not to have so many end-of-game situations, but we got a lot of them. But we're now on the other side of them where we weren't early.
Jennie, what was, how important were those last 2 or 3 possessions of the first half to get that momentum, obviously, with the play that Sahara made there, Lee's 3, and just to go into halftime feeling the way y'all did?
Yeah, I mean, momentum's kind of an amazing thing, right? And that's what you always want, is you want to create opportunities of momentum and flow, which is not always easy to do in a game where there's a lot of fouls, or there's a game that there's a lot of free throws. And so those little moments of momentum are so valuable in games that are like this, that are kind of broken up, and there's a lot of monitor checks, and there's a lot of different things. And so I think that's, those decide outcomes, those momentum shifts. And so that one was just as important as the rebound at the end, or the free throw, getting a rebound there, or any play at any point in the game.
Jennie, we've seen Aaliyah shoot a lot less threes the past few games. Has that been an emphasis for you, and how's
No.
that changed your offense?
No, it really hasn't been an emphasis for us. We need to play, and I think she's gotten pressured a lot. And so I think she's really trying to put the ball in people's hands. I think her approach to shots is different. I think she's, she's trying to take what they're giving her more. And I think she's just trying to read the game more. So it's not an intentional, I think every shot she shoots is going in. I think that for everybody. So I don't have that. And we've definitely not told her to not shoot it.
Jennie, obviously you see Oklahoma versus Tennessee and the potential for this just to be a very up and down, super fast-paced game. And the tail of the tape would kind of make you assume that was going to be the case. With the stoppages, you mentioned the flow, but I'm interested kind of from the pace perspective of this game for both teams. Like, was there any in-game pivots you have to make with that, or is that just something that can kind of naturally just shift with your mindset when you know that the pace isn't picking up in the way that it could have with this matchup?
I mean, you try to make as many in-game adjustments as you possibly can. There's a lot of, I just yell at them to stop fouling, if that's what you mean. That's one strategy
that's
that
accurate.
didn't necessarily work today.
It's a good one.
But,
She's on
well,
it. It's her birthday.
it's her birthday. I'm not normally like this.
Okay.
No, I mean, I think that, I think a year ago when you have, when we played a lot of people a lot less minutes maybe, right? And we played probably more people, more minutes, that it was really like that a lot, right? Because they sub so fast and they have a unique style and they have, and you could see in the first probably 5 minutes of this game that it took us a little bit just to get used to any kind of a flow. Like we were just kind of stuck, and you had to you can practice whatever you want to practice, but until those game lights are on, until you're in that environment, it's different. And so when pretty much half of your team, right, has not had that experience playing against that, it takes a second to warm up. I think the nice thing is if you take two teams that have pressed and you take, like Texas, that took us 20 minutes to adjust. This game took us about 5 to 10 minutes to adjust. And so you don't, as much as I want everything yesterday, you also have to allow those moments for them to start to feel in the flow. And when we really flowed in our offense, really good things happened. And then sometimes it gets choppy. And again, you don't get to decide how it's officiated. You don't get to decide if the other team fouls. So you have to control a little bit more about what you control. So we needed to box out better. We needed to be in better team defense rotation. We needed to not come down on jump shots. Those types of things we've got to continue to obviously to learn.
Jenny, a lot of attention on Aaliyah, obviously, but it seems like Zaya, the steps she's taken, it's huge for your team, but I would assume huge for Aaliyah in a lot of ways. What have you been most pleased with as she's evolved as a second-year player for you guys?
Gosh, I mean, honestly, I was talking with the ESPN crew before the game, and I said, name one player in the SEC that has improved as much as she has from one year to the next. And I wish we had that. I almost wish that we had that award, And again, I don't care about awards, but she's just incredible. Like she really has been this year, and she's been steady and she's worked on it. So even moments that she gets really rattled, she can steady herself a little bit. She's thrown herself into the team. She's made some really, really big plays, and she works her tail off on the defensive end, but she's so coachable. She works really, really hard. She gets in the gym, she comes in. I mean, she pretty much watches every single game with me after every single game. And it's really impressive to see how much she craves to get better. Because you don't always hear that with young people. But this team is one that really, they're addicted to learning. They want to learn. They're addicted to growing. They just want to get better. And I think what you can see is the relationship has really built between her and Aaliyah. They really could go opposite, right? Because they could be jealous of one another or compare one another. But they really do an incredible job because their gifts are a little bit different. But they have such incredible synergy, and they have for a long time. And so it's been really fun to see them crave playing together, because they know it makes life easier for the other one.
She obviously comes in last year as the little sister. I'm sure there were expectations that way too. Did she sort of have to work through that to then emerge to what she is now?
Yeah, and I don't even know if it was as much, because that would make sense in terms of little sister, but because they were different positions. But she also played... we also had 5 fifth-year seniors, so the playing time wasn't necessarily there. Where this year, if she doesn't show up, we don't win games. There's a difference of having to show up every day, regardless of how you feel. And I think she's had to learn that. We've all had to learn that, But what a cool lesson to learn in life. And it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean every shot goes in. It doesn't mean you're not going to make mistakes, but your presence, you have to make that choice to show up every day. And I think that's something that's different when you're a freshman, like Zaya was last year, where it was, if she played well, she kept going, and that's hard as a coach because you got 5 fifth-year seniors, right? And so if she doesn't play well, then you have Lexi Keys who can come in. Then you have somebody else that can come in. And so I think that's also a difference, is she's just really dependent on, and so she's had to learn, like all of us have had to learn, you got to show up every day.
Raegan, Sahara, just how important was it to get the win on Jennie's birthday? Or fun, just, that you did it?
I mean, it was important because she wasn't going to get her present unless we won. So, I mean, Beatrice and I were talking about that before the game. She had cars, and she's like, we're only going to go to her if we win.
That's
so obviously that's important.
The win was the present.
But I mean,
We love that.
I mean, every game is important in the SEC. We're fighting to get a good spot in the tournament, obviously, both SEC tournament and March Madness tournament, and we're still fighting for that. And so we got 2 more games to take care of business on that end, and Tennessee is a great opponent for us, and glad we could pull out the win.
Yeah.
Going into the SEC tournament.
That's okay. I'm okay.
How do you guys think you're ready, or?
No, we got 2 more games left. We got 2 more games that we got to build up. I mean,
Yep.
again, like I don't know if that question was for me, but you're ready whenever you're ready. And we'll be ready when it starts, but we don't even know. I mean, think about it. Like, what place are we? What day do we play? We don't even know that, right? And so those are things that we still get 2 more games together. So we know that we have 2 more guaranteed games, and we know that we get to play in the SEC tournament. We know we get to play in the NCAA tournament. And so you have 4 guaranteed games. I mean, really. And so we're not going to take Thursday for granted. That's for sure. So that's we'll be ready on Thursday.
Jennie, not that this is a goal, and obviously a lot of factors go into it, but you know the history on that other side. I think it's the most points ever scored against Tennessee in a regular season game, tied for 3rd all time. What does that mean, if anything?
Wow.
I did not know that.
I mean, I did none of it. They did, but that program was one that was when I was growing up. That was really one of the only programs you could watch, and so you watched Pat Summitt, and I never really knew her. I've had conversations with her, but I don't know her. But to be able to watch what she did as a mom, as a coach, as a fierce competitor, as a strong woman. It was really, when you're a kid, you kind of look at that and you're like, oh, people can do that. And so I think if I put my kid glasses on, wow. And then when you put your coach glasses on, you go to different things on a stat sheet, but also, wow, still pretty cool.
Jennie, just with Buddy's jersey getting retired
Yeah.
last night, is there any
How amazing is
any
he?
former player you'd like to see have their jersey retired soon?
I mean,
From here?
Yeah, I mean, of course, there's so many players that you want to go through, especially in this program, and the ones that have had their jerseys retired are incredible ambassadors. You have alumni weekend here, and so it's so amazing to be able to see that. But also with Buddy, how cool! I mean, he's classy, and my favorite thing about Buddy is, he came running down to us a couple years ago. Do you remember that? And it was a weekend, and we had a weekend practice, and he was here for a football game, and he comes in and he's like, "You guys got to win again," because it was between the 2 years that we won the Big 12. And you're sitting there thinking this guy doesn't even know who we are, and he's like, "We watch whenever we can watch." And because I love Oklahoma, we went to the Bahamas our first year here, and everywhere you walked, every single person that worked there was like, "Hey, Buddy Hill," and because you're wearing Oklahoma stuff. Like the impact he's had in his own country, the impact he's had at Oklahoma is second to none. And so we're just really excited about him. And I know I don't want to name anybody right now because I'm not trying to not answer your question. I just don't want to hurt feelings. I need to think about that question more because I think it's a really thoughtful question that we've had different conversations about. But there have been some incredible women that have impacted this program.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Boomer.
Thank you all. Appreciate you all. Boomer.